Hey guys, it's Zach with Harder, Happier, Healthier. How are you? Happy 4th of July. Let me turn my Reba McEntire down so you guys can hear me. Um, Wanted to talk about a carnivore subject, and that subject is supplements. Um, how do I feel about them? Do I take any supplements? Do I think they're necessary? Well, the truth is, all the issues that I've had. Hey, Zoe, stop moving that. Excuse me. All the issues that I've had or bumps in the road that I've had during carnivore all had to do with supplements, believe it or not. I find that the more things that I eliminate from my diet, the better off I am. One of those things was actually salt. I was having some pretty bad heart palpitations, and I thought what I was assuming was that I was having heart palpitations from eating red meat. So what was happening is every time I'd have a steak, even if I'd have a steak early in the afternoon, I would get these crazy heart palpitations where my heart would not want to slow down just before bed. Didn't feel anything anytime throughout the day. As soon as I'd lay down and stay still, I would get these heart palpitations. So I was like, "What's going on? Maybe there's something wrong. Why am I reacting like this to red meat?" So for the longest time, I was like, "Okay, well, let me just start cutting out red meat." And then it went away, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell? Like, why is red meat making me have heart palpitations?" And I was just thinking, I was like, well, Paul Saladino had heart palpitations. Maybe it's because I'm not getting any carbs. Maybe he's right. Turns out, um, it wasn't that I was eating steak and that was causing it. It was because I was salting the steak. So as soon as I stopped salting the steak, and I had to consult other people in my group about this kind of thing. Like, what should I do? So these are the kind of things you run into, right? So it turns out salt's not good for me personally, right? It was fine for however many months, but maybe I don't need it anymore, right? Um, Other supplements that I was taking that I think really don't do you any good is vitamin supplements. I don't think, and people say, oh, how do you know this and that? Well, the thing is that our body knows what to do with um, natural food that you put in your body. So when you put a supplement in there, one, it's concentrated. Anything concentrated in nature usually turns out to be a negative, right? Hey, Joey, can you turn that TV down for me, please? Right now, thank you. Um, you know, it just our bodies know how to process natural foods, and when you add something in there that is not natural or in a concentrated form, you potentially could cause problems, right? So most of all the nutrients that we need exist in meat. So to say that we need them is kind of based on the old premise of a plant-based diet. We know for sure that a plant-based diet has to be supplemented because you don't get the nutrients that you need in a plant-based diet, which means it's not a proper human diet, right? Um, so my theory is that the more you eliminate from your diet, the better off you are, which makes sense. If you look at every other species on this planet, they have a species specific diet. They don't eat 1,500 different things. They don't have variety. They don't have, uh, portioned mixed plate, right? So why do we think that we are special? Well, we think that we're special because we have a tendency to be narcissistic and to think that somehow we are better or superior, but we are still a creation, whether that's a God creation or whatever it is that you believe in. We're still a creation, and that natural process is how we formed, right? Whatever that was. If you think it's intelligent or what have you, um, we are designed to eat a specific diet, and we don't need to eat 15 different things. We don't need to have um, a mixed, whatever they call it, a balanced plate and this and that. Um, so I've taken away almost all supplements, and the more I've taken away, the better off I feel. So I think that it's worth experimenting for sure to try to drop all that stuff. We may, one, you're going to save a ton of money. I think most supplements are garbage anyway. The supplements are cheaply made. They use the cheapest possible Chinese ingredients that they can, and they sell it, as much profit as they can possibly make. So I think that it's beneficial either way to stop and to see. Um, you know, it's a a lot of people have a hard time with that because they're so used to being to, oh, I need, I need this vitamin, I need this and this and this. I think some of our vitamin needs actually come from our destructive diet, right? So if you're not on that destructive diet anymore, I think that your needs for supplements goes down significantly, and I think that's important to understand that. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever had any problems with the heart palpitations or like imbalance of electrolytes. It seems like a lot of people do initially. Try something that works. It may be that you need more salt. It may need be that you need no salt, right? So for me, I didn't need any. Um, those electrolyte supplements have a lot of fillers and a lot of crap in them, so I stopped taking that a long time ago, and I feel significantly better. Um, it's just not a natural way to get that much supplement. So an imbalance is very easy when you just start adding powders. I don't think you should consume any sort of powder at all. On my experience, it seems to be detrimental to health. So, um, but again, this is the thing. We're not being dogmatic. A lot of people are very closed off to new ideas. I'm not. I'll argue of my position, but I like it when somebody shows tells me something that is different than what I believe because it makes me think. A lot of people have a really hard time with that, and I think it's important to be able to like just hear somebody else out, and if it goes against what you think that what's going on with you, maybe it's the way that you look at it, right? It's always good to see somebody else's point of view and then to say, okay, well, this is the alternate view, or there might be a possibility that something else is true. So, you know, whatever you've always done, you need to question those things sometimes. Otherwise, you just, you aren't able to adapt and change. And that's not dogmatic. Dogmatic is when you don't approve of other people's ideas, or you can't handle other people's ideas, or you don't allow other people to express their ideas, which I think is stupid, right? It just shows insecurity. Um, so if I say something like, "Hey, maybe you don't need supplements," and you say, "Oh no, that's impossible. How could we not need supplements?" Right? It Just try it, right? Everything's about trial and error. A lot of people told me I was crazy, and now they're 3 4 months in carnivore and their life changing, and they're so much better off, right? And if they would have just not been open to that, they'd still be doing whatever they were doing, right? So try something new. Give yourself, you know, if you're not having any issues and you feel great, it may be that you don't know how much better you could feel, right? So don't just say, "Oh, everything's fine. I'm great." Try different things and experiment on yourself, because if you don't, you never know what you might be missing out on, right? And this goes with everything in life, like the gym, relationships. Um, try different things, experiment, see what works, see what doesn't work. The worst case scenario is you find something that doesn't work, and you always go back and you change it. So but yeah, that would be my take on supplements. I know Dr. Chafee, who's the guy that I pretty much base my diet on. He's pretty much the same way. He's against supplements, and you know, but just because I heard him say that didn't mean that I didn't experiment and try different things. Right? It's not dogmatic. You are open to new ideas, but you also need to test them, because just being stuck on whatever it is uh, tends to just leave you in running in circles sometimes, and not knowing that you are running in circles. So, yeah, I think that it's worth a shot to just try to do no supplements for a while and see what you may get no reaction. Um, a lot of people look for the blood work to tell them whether or not a supplement's working, and the problem with blood work is that all of the markers are in relation to a standard American diet. So we don't know like cholesterol and all these different things and how they fit into like somebody like us who doesn't eat carbohydrates or eats very little carbohydrates. So we don't really know if those markers mean anything, because they may be completely benign. You could have cholesterol off the charts, and that doesn't mean anything because that's just the way that you function. So keep an open mind, try different things. If you run into a speed bump, try eliminating things from the diet, not adding. Okay, sometimes we get in this. I think it's just kind of our consumerism mentality and capitalism, is that when something's wrong, oh, what do we need to add, right? What do I need to buy? What supplement can I take to fix this? And that may sometimes work, but it also may be the opposite. What can I take away, right? Because like when you have a headache, you're not deficient in Advil or Tylenol, right? There's something else going on, but it's usually something that has been added, not because you need to add something. So you don't need to add Tylenol to fix a headache, even though that works. It's temporary, and there's other side effects, right? Like all plant foods, anything plant based or plant derivative like aspirin or Tylenol or vegetables can cause problems, right? This is a fact. This is a known fact. This is not debate. That part is not debatable. We know that these toxins exist. Okay, so I stand behind that, but try eliminating instead of adding, because we've all gotten into the habit of adding because we think that we need something or we got to buy something to fix this and this problem. And a lot of people, you guys got 50, 30, like I have friends, I saw her like uh, picture of like all the different supplements she was taking. There's like 40 or 50 vitamins. I was like, no, that's not good. There's no way that's good. That's not a healthy mentality, right? Because you think, oh, I gotta take all these, and that becomes anxiety as opposed to just like eating a proper food and proper, having a proper diet and trusting in your body to break down those foods and turn them into the things that you need. There's no real evidence to support like all the supplementation, all this, the stuff that people are doing, and we don't even know where half of it comes from. The rules from the FDA and all that stuff. I mean, they're so lenient with supplements. It could be anything. You don't know what's a filler in there, so. Um, I'm a big advocate for eating meat and working out and being human. So try to drop the supplements. If you feel terrible, you can always go back. You don't have to like there's these aren't prescriptions. You can come off or on any of these stuff, and it's you're not going to have crazy side effects. Um, or sometimes there's a mental aspect to it. We think that because I'm taking this vitamin A that it's making my life better. And if you believe that, then partially that can cause it to be true for some of us. But that doesn't mean that the vitamin A is actually helping you. It could be hurting you. It could be, damaging your liver. It could be whatever. So just understand that sometimes what we think about things can affect our outcomes, right? So if you believe something and it's incorrect, you still may be having a side effect or a outcome because of your beliefs, not because of what you have. So eliminate those things, see what happens. You might say, "Oh my God, I don't feel terrible, and I haven't taken my vitamin whatever in so long, and I feel great, and I don't have to spend $50 a month on this stuff." And you might feel more human. So tell me what you guys think. I'm gonna leave some links in the description to the video to my Facebook, and we have a pretty large group in there. It's Carnivore, Harder, Happier, Healthier. You can also search for that. But so just you guys have any comments on what I said, what you think about the supplements, what you think about what issues have you run into that you've had to fix? Let me know what you guys think. We'll talk to you guys another time. Bye.